Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Matt.
I'm Kelly.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help.
It is deep into November.
Well, you're pretty busy today. You got red beets over there, and we got 2 pots of apple butter.
Yeah.
Is this all for me?
You want it?
Oh, maybe. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We got the farm market all set up this morning. Now we're making our way down around back to get the animals all taken care of. When I woke up this morning, it was very still outside. We are planning to have a beautiful day, and the weather is going to be helping us with that. Back up, ladies. Back up. Back up. Around the door. Just getting the chickens fed so that some of them will get out of my way as I'm collecting eggs this morning. They usually aren't too much of a problem, but as the chickens start to get more comfortable with you, when you're collecting eggs, they try and sit on your hands, they try and get in all your business there. So if we feed, it just keeps them away, just for a little bit. Now you see me collect eggs about every single video, and something I get asked occasionally is why do we have 2 separate pens of chickens? This pen that I'm in right now is the older layers, and then the other pen is the newer, fresher layers. Now, a big reason why we keep them apart is because these older layers will actually bully the newer ones or the younger ones. So we can't put them together. Another reason is once these chickens get to a certain age, we'll actually take them to an auction because the amount of feed it takes to feed them, so the cost of feed as opposed to what we're receiving in eggs, is not good for the farm market. So what we'll end up doing is we'll keep these chickens for a few years, but then once they get older and don't produce as much, then we have to move on to a new batch of layers. So this pen has done a really good job, but we're getting to the point where it's almost time to move on from them and start a new batch. Come on, ladies, out of the way, out of the way. Cattle are now all fed, we've got the calves all taken care of, and chickens have been fed and eggs have been collected. I'll be honest with you, you can't ask for much perfect of a day this time of the year. We're moving into November and sunny and 75, doesn't get much better. I know we have been enjoying it, but the cattle have been enjoying it too. They've been out to pasture every single night enjoying that grass over on the hill. Hey, if they're out there, we're happy. That is free feed for them, and it helps to keep them nice and clean. We're here trying to do a cattle count, make sure we have all the cattle here, and try and figure out how many we actually do have. You'd be surprised how fast that number can change. Usually when Dad is here, he likes to spend a little bit of time standing and looking at the animals. but he's not here. He's still on vacation. So since he's not here, we'll spend a little extra time looking at the animals. I'm sure the cattle miss him, and I'm sure he misses his cattle as well. But what do you boys think? What's Dad doing this morning?
Probably playing mini golf right now.
Yeah, he's probably golfing. And then where's he gonna be later?
Probably at the pool.
And he's gonna call us and say, well, boys, are you gonna get in the pool? He likes to rub it in. Likes to rub it in. But we'll just send him pictures of his cows. That'll get him going. What's up, turkeys? Good morning. Oh, look at all of you. You know, I wonder if the calves that are here complain about their noisy neighbors. Yeah. What do you guys think? How do you feel about your neighbors? Are they pretty noisy? Yeah? Yeah, he looks like they're noisy. Yeah.
You gonna eat me? You gonna get me? You gonna get me?
He's gonna get you, Daniel. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks about good. Why are you sitting in the back?
So the boss can sit up front?
Oh, hey, boss, up front. This is my Uncle James. He's the boss today, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm taking Brian Lee's spot.
And here we are out to the field. You'll never believe what we're picking. Broccoli. Yeah, we're all out of broccoli. All that broccoli I picked last video, gone. We've got this little patch of broccoli that I need to pick off. And then over here where Matthew is at currently, there's also some broccoli over here. Now, sadly, this is only a small sample of broccoli. We had a few plants left over and we did transplant it into the soil and we're getting heads off of it, which is always a good thing. That's a big one. This is where Matthew's cutting at. Look at the size of some of these broccolis. They're not as large as what was over by me, but this one's pretty massive. That's like the size of a dinner plate. There's still a lot of broccoli here. That's a nice basket of broccoli, Daniel. Really nice. Look at this broccoli. Matt thinks his broccolis over there are bigger. Look at that one compared to my hand. That's a big broccoli. Hey, Uncle Jimmy, who needs to get new tires for the side-by-side?
Brian Lee,
Why?
you made a ball.
Yeah, my dad made him bald.
I don't think it's gonna fit.
It'll fit. That's a big old broccoli. Hold on, broccoli test, ready? Check it out, next to Daniel's head. Now, here's the real test. That is a big broccoli, that is really big. Someone in the comments made a claim one time that my head may be bigger than Matthew's, but we'll never put it to the test because it's just not true. Well, that didn't take too long, but as mentioned last time, there is much less broccoli there than we had originally thought because we picked so much. So we may be able to get a few more baskets, but we're looking at what may be the last bits of broccoli harvest. Don't do this at home, kids. We're getting ready to mow down that patch of sweet corn that we were never able to harvest, so I'm allowed to drive through, but usually don't drive through cornfields. Because what happens if you drive through cornfields, Jimmy?
Brian Lee will get really mad.
Yeah. Daniel's getting an ear of corn. We're gonna test the moisture at home. This is one of our late season corn. Two? That looks nice though. What do you think the moisture is gonna be? High?
25.
25, yeah, that's a little too moist.
Now normally we plant around 100 day. This is 111 day that we're using for corn stalks. But it was planted at the beginning of June. Normally we plant at the beginning of May. So it was planted a little late, but we planted just for corn stalks. We have green corn stalks at the end of the year.
Hey. You see this part right here?
You want a lid on these, Wanda?
Ooh, that's good.
Do they taste good?
Oh yeah. Good job, Grammy. Now my mouth's probably all red. Yep, we've got the side-by-side all filled up again and ready to go. Now in our last video, we also were making an effort on getting our red beets harvested. Grammy is really looking forward to canning and jarring as many red beets as possible. And we can't do that if we don't have the red beets picked. Now last time we were out here, Daniel and I got about halfway through the row picking up the red beets that were ready to go. And today we're gonna try and finish off this section of field. One of the biggest reasons why I wanna get this done is because we're worried about the ground freezing. If the ground freezes, these red beets are pretty much toast. And another thing is, we don't want them to rot in the field. It's been relatively dry. Usually the red beets won't rot if that happens, but if it starts to get wet out here, that could happen. So we wanna get these pulled out of the ground today. Now, because of how late these red beets were planted and how thick we put the seed on, they really didn't get a lot of size to them, mostly because of how late they were planted in the year. We didn't have the best growing hours. But what we are finding is some nice red beets. We're not taking everything here because not everything is a nice size. There's a lot of small stuff here. So rather than worrying about sorting through all that, we're just sorting through the little mess of plants that we've got. And anything that has somewhat nice size to it, we're taking it. And we're gonna be able to bring it back to Grammy, and she's gonna be all excited, and she's gonna make red beets for us. And you know what that means? A happy Grammy means lots of snacks for us. Now, growing up on a farm, there will be times where you'll take for granted what you really have in front of you. Because when we were younger, we did a lot of working. You know, there are some days where I wasn't too excited with getting up every day and farming. But now that I'm older, I really, really enjoy it. And I appreciate the childhood that I had growing up on the farm and being able to do this kind of stuff. You know, all the fresh food is one thing, but the experience of being able to do it, that's a completely separate thing. And I'm so happy that my kids are gonna have the same opportunities as I did. Now, there will be days probably where they'll think the same way I did when I was younger. You know, this is a lot of work. This isn't as much fun as you think it would be. But as they get older and they get to my age, they look back and really enjoy the childhood that you had. Being able to be around all this stuff and enjoy yourself the way we did, it's truly a blessing. But another thing I appreciate is the family I have. Because growing up on the farm, you know, Grammy was cooking, my mom was cooking, my aunts, they're all great cooks, so, you know, we can eat. But another thing that I really appreciate is the canning side and the jarring side of my family. When I stop and think about all the things Grammy makes, the jellies, the jams, I mean, the salsas, the spaghetti sauce, the pickled beets, I mean, I could probably talk for hours about all the stuff that she jars and makes. You know, it really helps you appreciate all this work that goes into harvest time and storing everything and being able to use it through winter. If I had to pick one thing that Grammy would jar or store when I was younger that I really enjoyed, it was probably the spaghetti sauce. This year, Matthew and I made spaghetti sauce ourselves for the first time. It wasn't too difficult, but I mean, we had everything here and we had a great tutor in Grammy, so it wasn't too difficult. But I'd have to say Grammy spaghetti sauce, oh, it was always so good. And I'm happy to say the spaghetti sauce that Matthew and I made, we followed her recipe perfectly and it tastes just as good. So I'm happy that I have that and I'll be able to share that with my kids one day. But yeah, we have a unique opportunity here on the farm. We have all this fresh fruit and veg. What's your favorite thing that Grammy cans or jars?
Bread and butter hot cherry peppers.
See, I didn't even think of that.
Those are pretty dang good.
The pickles are good. Spicy green tomatoes.
Spicy green tomatoes are pretty great.
And the best part is, it's all stuff we grow. So you know it's fresh, you know it's delicious, and then Grammy puts her touch on it. Oh, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're out here getting all these red beets today, because not only do we enjoy everything that Grammy does, a lot of the people in the local area do too. And we're gonna need a lot of red beets for them. I mean, when we sell completely out of them, we sell out, but we're gonna need them so that we can sell them. Nope, this one's stuck in the ground. Come on, dig it out. There we go. What about you, Daniel? What's your favorite thing that Grammy makes? We'll say jars or cans.
Pie.
Pie? I don't. Pie and cake? It's not really in a jar or a can, Daniel.
It's good though.
It is good. Yep, the jarred pears are good. That's right. Her peaches. I know Callie likes the apple butter is really good. I know Callie likes the jarred peaches. Now I'm getting hungry. Look at all those.
Matt, we got scared.
You know what? I probably remember that too, Matt getting scared. Sounds like something I would remember. Uncle Jimmy is talking about the time him and my Aunt Allison took Matthew camping. And Matthew got scared, right?
Yep.
Oh no. I'm glad you remember all these stories about Matthew, Jimmy.
I wish I could tell the people the stories about you. He was like, where's the tractor?
Look at those. I'm so glad that it hasn't froze the ground yet, and that it's been kind of dry. I mean, it's a little too dry here, but the fact that these haven't rotted in the field is incredible. That's just so beautiful.
One time you want
A little bit of an update for you. We got 1, 2, 3 full baskets of red beets. Now we haven't been sorting them. We've been putting them all into the baskets, just whatever size they are. But for the most part, they're about this size in between here, which is kind of what we're looking for. We are finding some larger ones, but not too many. It doesn't really matter because they're gonna all get cut up and jarred anyway. So now my mouth is red from eating red beets earlier, and now my hands are red from pulling the tops off. Well, we've picked all the red beets that we can, all the ones that are ready to pick, they're ripe enough. We got 4.5 baskets. That's pretty good. This last picking of red beets got us about 10 baskets, so we're happy with that. Isn't that beautiful? I think Grammy's gonna be really, really happy with this. We're gonna get all of this taken back to the farm. We're gonna get our red beets all cleaned off. And then once we have them all cleaned off and dried, we can move them into the cooler. Now to help everyone appreciate what's going on here, we're just trying to get a bulk of that surface dirt off. When these go into Grammy, she will wash them again. But by getting off a bulk of the dirt now, it doesn't mess with our drain system that we have inside the farm market. So we're just trying to be a little proactive here and prevent ourselves from having any issues further down the road. You got it, Matt? King Toes always messes things up. But that's why we like to rinse the red beets off up here. We're gonna let them dry off and then they're gonna be moved down. Our red beets are now drying up there in the yard. We were discussing a few things that need to be done. A big thing is we need to grind feed for the animals. The only problem is we don't have corn. And if you know anything about grinding feed here on the farm, that's kind of a problem. Corn is a big ingredient. So what we're gonna have to do is harvest some. Now this year we are gonna be doing something a little different. In years past, we have not baled corn stalks, but because we've had a little bit of trouble getting bedding, you know, we haven't had sawdust for a while. This year we are gonna be baling up the corn stalks after we harvest. We are gonna be using our round baler. We feel like this is a great idea. A lot of other people do this. We have the room to store the bales, and we think this is just gonna be great for the cattle all winter long. It'll definitely give them something to do on a cold day. They can pick through and try and find any cobs that they want. So we're just getting everything all set and ready to go. We're going over the piece of equipment, and then probably after lunch, we'll just get it hooked up to our corn head and we'll start chopping. And funny enough, Dad gave us specific instructions. He said, you can cut enough to fill the bin, but don't cut any more than that. You know why? Because he wants to cut the cord.
Corn on the ears, your rotor's not tight enough.
Yep. Matthew just made a decent pass out through the field. I think he got enough corn for what we're gonna need to grind feed, which is a good thing. That's what we were looking for. We usually have the bin extensions on, which allow you to hold a lot more grain. We would have been able to cut a little bit longer with those on, but we didn't need that much corn today. I know Dad is itching to hop in his combine, so we're not gonna take too much of that joy away from him today. All the leaves coming off the trees at this end of the field sure does look beautiful. I love fall. Alrighty, we've made it in for lunch here on the farm. It looks like we've got some sausage. Ooh, we got a fruit salad. And then it looks like cauliflower cheese soup. Oh my, that is good. Alrighty, we got a lot accomplished this morning. Now for the afternoon, because we are missing a few workers, it is gonna be a little bit different. I think the boys might try and grind some feed. Not sure if they're gonna get there because there is some other stuff going on. Daniel is working with seed customers. Matthew is gonna be taking care of some jobs. And then we have this farm market, which we are getting away from our busier time of the year, but it's still pretty busy. So because of that, we're gonna have to make sure that we're here to help out any way we can. What does that involve? Well, a lot of it involves working in the farm market. I don't think there's gonna be anything too exciting happening, but if there is something, we will fill you in on it. I know we're gonna be working in the farm market. We're gonna be making sure everything is filled up, and we're gonna possibly be discussing what we're gonna do with these pumpkins in the next video. Isn't that exciting? What are we gonna do with all these pumpkins? Ay, ay, ay. Well, you'll find out soon. Go ahead, run to the front of the tractor. The front of the tractor. Callie wanted to ride on the tractor, but she's got a tutu on. So we're going tutu in the tractor. What do you think, Lily? What do you think of the tractor? Lily doesn't know what to think. Ronnie's out here enjoying himself. We're giving them a little tractor time. Don't want to get too close, but I mean, look at Ronnie. He can't help himself. He wants to look at it. I took a little time out of my day to come down and check on Lauren, and then I brought her over to check out how things are going with the mowing. We're trying to just clean up the fields, get a lot of this brush and a lot of these corn stalks that we haven't been able to mow down. We're finally getting to it. All right, everyone. I meant to show you what I was cooking for dinner before I got started, but I got too excited. We're having steak and potatoes for dinner. I decided to use our red, yellow, and white potatoes. So I used a little bit of everything, and then we have some steak from our cattle. Ooh, I am excited for dinner. How was dinner, Callie? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yes. Can I get a And the babies over here, they already finished their dinner. We're giving them something to snack on, a little cracker. Ronnie is excited. Almost as excited as seeing the tractor. And then Miss Lily. Oh, that was a big burp. Sound like me.